Welcome to Max class. In this video we are going to learn about decimal numbers. So last video we learned about how to add and how to subtract decimal number. I hope that was useful for you. So in this video we are going to learn how to multiply decimal numbers. If I have a decimal number and a whole number, or if I have both decimal numbers, how to multiply and what are the properties of multiplication, that we are going to see in this video. Let's get inside the topic. So first, before doing the multiplication of decimal number, let's learn few steps and tricks to understand how to multiply a decimal number. So if you're going to multiply a decimal number, suppose if you have two decimal numbers, in that case, first don't consider the number as a decimal number. Okay, first you see as a whole number. That in the sense, don't see the decimal point. While you write the number, just write the number as it is. Don't write it as 1.20, write it as 120. Okay, and then do the normal multiplication. Once you have multiplied, place the decimal point after leaving digits equal to the total number of decimal places in both the number. So you have multiplied two numbers, right? 1.20 into 7.3. So you will take it as 120 into 73 and do the normal multiplication. Clear? So once you are done the multiplication, then you keep the decimal point. How you will keep the decimal point? Count how many decimal points numbers are there after decimal point. According to that, you have to keep the decimal point in the answer. Don't worry, I'll explain you with an example so that you can understand more clearly how to multiply decimal number. Clear? But always remember, counting must always be done from one's place value of the product. That is, before, while for keeping the decimal point, you should always start from right side of the number. So let me explain you with an example. Okay, so if you want to multiply a decimal number and a normal whole number, okay, so 43.5 into 4 I need to multiply. Okay, so what I'll do, first step, write it as 4. Don't see decimal point there, see it as a whole number. Okay, so write it as 435 into 4. Okay, so multiply. So what is my answer? You will start with 4 into 5 are 20. So in 20, 0, that is a number which is at the ones place, I'll write there. The tens place number will come as a carryover, right? Then 4 into 3, 4 3s are 12. 12 plus the carryover 2, so what will get? 14. So 4, the ones place will be written here, tens place will taken as a carryover. Now 4 into 4, 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. I don't have any other number, so I don't need to carry over. I'll write directly as 17. Right, so 1740, 1740. So this is done. Now once you found the answer, now write the answer, but while writing the answer you will keep the decimal point. How will you keep the decimal point? Now you see how many numbers are there after decimal point, that is in 43.5. okay, this is my decimal point. After decimal point, in the right side means which side? This side. This is my right side. After decimal point, in right side, how many numbers are there? One number are there, right? So which means in my answer, what is my answer? 1740 is my answer. So from the right side, that is from the ones place value, before one number I will keep the point. Understood? So as I said, I have only, I'll show you with another color. So I have only one number after decimal point. So in my answer, from the ones place value, as I said, you have to start from ones place value for keeping the decimal point from the right side. Okay, so from right side, before one number I'll keep the point. Why before one number? Because in question, after decimal point I have only one number. If I had two number, I'll keep before two numbers. Okay, since I have only one number, I am keeping before one number. So any number, that is, if I have 0 after decimal point, it doesn't have any value, so I can cut and write it as 174 as my answer. Now here for 4 I don't have any decimal point, so it doesn't come under consideration. I have only decimal point for 43.5, so I'm taking only that number. Clear? Understood? Let me explain you with another method. Okay, for example, if I'm going to multiply with the decimal number with tens or 100. Okay, so if I'm going to multiply with 10, what I'm going to do? So suppose if the question is 3.14 into 10, I'm going to multiply. In that case, you don't need to multiply 0 0 0 into 4 are 0 0 into 1 are. Don't do like this. Okay, you don't need to write like this and then find the answer. No, it is not necessary. Okay, then how can I find the answer? It's very simple. So write the question. What is the question? 3.14 into 10, right? So here after 1, how many zeros are there? I have only, let me show you with another color. I have only 1 0. So what is my question? Write the number as it is. Don't keep decimal point. Write 314 as it is. Now I have only 1 0, which means that I can move my decimal point to one place. If I had 2 0, I can move 2 places. If I had 3 zeros, I can move 3 places. Clear? So according to the 0, the decimal point will move to the right side. Understood? Since I have 1 0, I'll move one place. So the decimal point from here before 1 will come after 1. So it will become as 31.4. Clear? Let me give you another example. Suppose if I have 3.17 into 100. So first write the number 317. Now how many zeros are there? 2 zeros, which means what? I can move my decimal point 2 places. So the decimal point will come after 7, which means my answer is 317. Clear? So let me give another number. So suppose 0.007 into 100. So first step, write the number as it is. Don't keep any point. Write the number as it is. Now how many zeros are there? In 100, 2 zeros. So I have to move 2 places. 1, 2. So where the point has come? It has come here. So 0, that is 0.7. Understood? So this is how you multiply a decimal number by 10, 100 or 1000 or 10,000 or lakh, 10 lakh, any number with zeros. So this is how you multiply any unit number with zeros. This is how you multiply the decimal number. Okay, so you can see here same way. If I'm going to multiply with 100, as I said, so for 100, how many zeros are there? 2 zeros are there. So I'm moving 2 places. So the answer will be 314. Because after point I have only 1 0, I don't have any other number, so 0 doesn't have any value, so I'll take it as 314. Clear? So I have given few more example. So you can see 673.234 I'm going to multiply by 10, right? So in 10, how many zeros are there? 1 0, which means what? I can move one place. So the number answer is 6732.34. Here I have 2 zeros. So how many places I can move? 2 places. Okay, here I have 3 zeros. So how many places I can move? 3 places. So 1, 2 and 3. Clear? So my answer is 673234.0. Says 0 doesn't have any value, so you can say it as 673.234. Clear? So this is how you multiply a decimal number with tens or hundreds or thousands or 10,000s. Clear? So always remember, according to the number of zeros in the tens or hundreds, the point will move it places. If you have 1 0, you will move one place to the right side, not left side, right side. Remember, you have to move right side. If you have 2 zeros, you will move 2 places to the right side. Clear? Yes. So now you have learned how to multiply a decimal number with a normal whole number, and you have learned how to multiply a decimal number with tens or hundreds and thousands, right? Now we are going to learn, suppose if you have two numbers to be multiplied and both the numbers are decimal number, how you will multiply. So that we are going to see. Okay, so here I have a question. 2.34 into 1.2. So I have to multiply through 2.34 into 1.2. You can see 2.34, 1.2 both are decimal number. So first step, write the number like a whole number. So you will write it as 234 into 12 and you will do the normal multiplication. Okay, you do the normal multiplication and you get the answer as 2808. Okay, now in 2.34 after decimal, how many numbers are there? Two numbers are there. Okay, in 1.2 after decimal, how many numbers are there? Three numbers are there. So 2 plus 1 becomes what? 3, which means from 1's place value, before 3 number I have to keep the point. So this is 1 number, 2 number and third number. So before this number I'll keep the point. Okay, in the starting video we had only one decimal number, so we consider only that decimal number. Here I have both are decimal number, so I am calculating for both the decimals. So here 2 decimal number and here 1 decimal number. Always remember you have to see the right side of the decimal point. Okay, so the right side of the decimal point, here I have 2 number, here I have 1 number. So 2 plus 1 becomes 3. So from right side, before 3 number though, so this is 1, this is second number and this is third number. So before third number I will keep the decimal point. Clear? So this is how you multiply two decimal number. Let me explain you with another sum. So here I have 3.77 into 2.8. Always remember, you should not say it as 3.77, it is wrong. You should pronounce as 3.77. Okay, after decimal point you should say as number, not as a 77. You should not say, you should say as 77. Clear? So you have to multiply. How you will multiply? First, don't like I have written so that I have to show that the decimal number I have written in the decimal form. It is not necessary you need to write like that. You can write it as 377 into 28 and then you can do the normal multiplication. So when I multiply, I'll get my answer as 10,556. Okay, now after decimal point in the right side, how many numbers I have? 2 numbers. After decimal point in the right side, how many number I have? One decimal number. So 2 plus 1 becomes what? 3. So before 3 number keep the point. So this is first number, second number and third number. Before third number I'll keep the point. So from the right side, as I said, from the one side, from the right side I'll be counting. Okay, I'll count and then I'll keep the point. So my answer is 10.556. Clear? So this is how you multiply two decimal numbers. Clear, everyone? Yes. So now you are thorough with multiplication of decimal number. So now we are going to see few properties of multiplication of decimal number. So the first property is that the product of decimal number and a whole number multiplied in any order remains the same. So even if you multiply as 0.9 into 12 or 12 into 0.9, still your answer will remain as 10.8. So that is what they are saying. However, I multiplied. For multiplication we saw some properties, no? Right, commutative property we saw, right? The same property are saying here. If I write 2 into 3 or 3 into 2, still my answer will remain as 6. So same way for decimal also. Clear? And the second property is that the product of two decimal number remains the same. So like the previous one, this is also like if I'm going to multiply 2.5 into 3.5 or if I'm going to multiply 3.5 into 2.5, still my answer will remain as 8.75. It won't change. Clear? And the third one is the product of decimal fraction into 1 gives the decimal fraction. So 1.092 into 1 is equal to 1.092. Okay, 3.476 into 1 equals to 3.476. So any number into 1 gives you the same number. Clear? Fine. The next property is any decimal fraction with 0 gives you 0. So 8.2 into 0 is 0. Okay, 77.9 into 0 is 0. Okay, and 107.68 Okay, 111 into 768 into 0 gives you 0. It doesn't matter how big the decimal number is. If you are going to multiply with 0, your answer will be 0. So have that in your mind. Clear? Fine. And the last property is, while performing multiplication, okay, like if I'm going to multiply 3 decimal numbers, or if I'm going to multiply 4 decimal number, however I multiply in any order, still my answer will remain same. That is, for example, you can see here, so first I multiplied with 1.02 into 4 into 11.2 into 2.3. So when I multiply all these numbers, my answer is 105.1008. Now when I change the order of this question, so instead of starting with 1.02, I'm going to start with 11.2. So I'm starting with 11.2, then I'm going to 2.3, then 1.02, and then 4. So when I change the order and when I multiply and find, still my answer remains as 105.1008. Clear? So however I change in multiplication, in any order, if you multiply the decimal number, or any how many, like 2 decimal numbers if you're going to multiply, or 3 decimal numbers if you're going to multiply, or 5 decimal numbers if you're going to multiply, how many decimal number if you're going to multiply, still your answer will remain same. Clear? So I hope that you have understood clearly how to multiply decimal numbers. Let's see a quick recap. So if I'm going to multiply a decimal number and a normal number, first multiply like you just don't see the decimal point, see it as 0.14 into 3, multiply as a normal problem, and once you have done the multiplication, then keep the decimal point. So when you keep the decimal point, always remember you have to start from right side. Okay, so here after decimal point I have 2 number, right? So here I have 2 number, here I don't have any decimal, so no problem. Here I have how many numbers? 2 numbers. So before 2 number I'll keep the point. So from right side, before 2 number I'll keep the point. So my answer is 0.42. Clear? So this is how you multiply a decimal number and a whole number. So if I'm going to multiply 2 decimal numbers, same way, first don't see it as a decimal point. First see, you can see I have written here, so first write it as 1375 into 55, multiply like a normal multiplication. Once you have done with multiplication, see how many decimal points should be kept. So here it is 2, so here it is 2 numbers, here it is 1 number. So 2 plus 1 is how much? 3. So before 3 number keep the point. So before 6 I'll keep the point. So my answer is 75.625. Clear? So this is how you multiply 2 decimal numbers. So I hope that in this video you have understood how to multiply decimal numbers and the properties of decimal number. In the next video, I'll come with a new interesting topic. So until then, bye everyone.